This next one, we're just gonna do it. We're gonna get out of the way.
Yeah.
My heart hurts just as much as y'all's is gonna hurt, okay?
In my old Kentucky home, good night. Weep no more, my lady. Oh, weep no more today. We will sing one song for my old Kentucky home, for my old Kentucky home far away.
Hey y'all, welcome to Stiver's Homestead. I am Zach.
And I am Jen.
And welcome to Garden Tour. What day are we on? I don't know.
9?
No, I think it's 10, isn't it?
10?
Is it 10?
Is it?
Pretty sure it's 10.
Wow.
The title will tell you all after once we get done editing this thing. But I'm pretty sure we're in double digits now. But the story of this week, we've peaked.
We've peaked.
Yes. So now it's maintaining. So you've got your growth, you've got your fruit, you're harvesting. Now, don't let things die.
Yeah.
That's the key to this thing.
Every single plant is now producing.
Yes.
That is exciting. Except the ones we put in later for the second round. But all the plants are producing, we are harvesting, and we are preserving.
That's right, we are. So, now, how do you keep them alive? That's the question of the year. How do you get to that frost date? Hopefully we can help you out in this one.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we're just getting over sickness. This garden is slightly gonna look like a mess. You spend a weekend for birthday parties and then you get sick for 2 days, 3 days-ish, not touching your garden. Things are getting a little out of control.
Yeah.
Y'all remember these things? Yeah, they were supposed to be in the ground this weekend. That didn't happen because we got sick. They're going in this weekend. We're getting there. But the apple trees are doing fine. They've just been kind of hanging out right there where they were when we purchased them.
They're loving the rain.
Yes, they are. They're enjoying the rain. We had a very nice rain today. Y'all get an evening garden tour this time.
Yeah, I think this, I don't know, we've done it before, but it's been a while.
We normally do mornings.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is an evening one right after a nice rain shower. It's nice, it feels comfortable, and everything's good. Celosia
is multiplying.
Yes,
I love it.
It's gonna just fill up that tire so beautifully.
Somebody actually sent me some more celosia seeds, so we're gonna plant all kinds of that because they knew I loved it so much, and I really want to do more of that. It's just a beautiful ornamental thing. I know somebody said it is edible. We're not using it for that purpose. It's just kind of a pretty ornamental thing, but we're gonna plant all kinds.
I hope it just sprawls out and turns into a bunch of dragon's breath.
Yeah.
So if you saw some of our earlier garden tours, all of these weren't there, and it was just this beautiful big like tongue looking thing of dragon's breath. It was really cool.
Lilies are still doing their thing.
Yeah, they're just hanging out.
The caladium is doing well. It has also multiplied. I think it's doubled in size.
And it's getting stronger.
Yeah.
When I water and stuff, it's getting much stronger. So I think that's really cool. It's very pretty. This next one, we're just gonna do it. We're gonna get out of the way.
Yeah.
My heart hurts just as much as y'all's is gonna hurt, okay? So I don't need to hear it in the comments. Don't even comment about it, all right? My heart is broken. My zinnias, y'all. They're going down, and they're going down fast. So y'all knew we had a Japanese beetle issue. I thought we cured it. I think we did. I think we just caught it a little late. I trimmed everything back. They're just going down. I don't want to see it in the comments.
But
all right,
we have so many zinnia seeds to plant.
Yes, we do. You all have been the most amazing people.
They're not going down in vain.
That's right. They've lived a long, good life. They're still there. They're still few. It's just not as full as it was, okay? But y'all have sent us so many zinnia seeds. I cannot wait for next year. We got the candy canes. We got the giants. We got these bad boys. Next year, y'all gonna see so many zinnias, it's just gonna blow your mind. But this little spot right here has done really well, and it's still doing good. It's still bringing in the pollinators. It's still doing its job. It's just not as pretty as it was. So let's move on. Moving on to things that look a lot better than my zinnias.
This in-ground garden with our zucchini and butternut squash and pumpkins is absolutely wild. We are harvesting so much every single day. My chocolate mint's in there. It's still doing well in the grow bag. But these zucchini and squash are just nuts. You've seen our videos, hopefully. If you haven't, check out our videos on what we're doing to preserve all of the zucchini that we're getting. We have not let one go to waste, I can promise you that.
At all.
We are preserving and going nuts.
One thing that we have been using the zucchini a lot for is in a quiche for breakfast, and that is so good.
Definitely put some zucchini in your quiche if you haven't tried it. It really
absolutely makes it. It's so tender, but it adds such a potent flavor.
And it makes it like a brunch type thing. It's so good. And I mean, it's just, we haven't wasted any of them. They're just going straight to the freezer or straight to the cannon or straight to bread. We're not wasting a single bit of it.
That's the best thing about having so many plants. So many people are like, why are you all planting so many zucchini and butternut squash? Well, we use it in so many different ways.
Yeah, we really do.
In the breads, in just stir fry, in quiche, in every single aspect.
It's such a prolific harvest that there's so many things you can do with it. And I've really tried to share the many ways that you can use it. I haven't shared all the ways, but hopefully I can share some more, and I'm sure you all know too. It's too good of an item to let go to waste. So we are trying our hardest to preserve every bit of it. Thankfully, I do get to stay at home, so a lot of my time is spent in the kitchen, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I love it. I love to preserve our harvest. So we've actually gotten 2 butternut squashes off of the vine, and they're sitting on the counter. Not sure if I'm going to save them or if we're going to eat them yet. We might just go ahead and eat them and then save the rest. Many different recipes I've looked up to do with them, but all kinds of stuff. And then the sunflowers over there are doing well. They're about to open.
They're getting nice and tall. So that butternut squash is everywhere. There's several that are smaller that are growing. You can see them right there. And the zucchini, just real quick before we move on, we told you all it's the easiest thing to possibly grow. I promise you it is. Even when it struggles, it comes back and it just does well. So if you're a first-time gardener, grow zucchini and summer squash. Butternut squash is more of a winter squash. However, you can still grow it in the summer. And I also did see a lot of people talk about their leaves wilting throughout the day, and they were wondering what's going on with their zucchini and squash. That is not a problem. That's just the heat getting to it. It bounces back and looks just like this once the evening comes, and there's nothing that you need to do. It's just the plant doing its kind of thing, and the heat just kind of like we do. I know I wilt down when it gets to 100 degrees outside, and then I pop back up when it gets to the evening time.
Along with the sunflowers, the zucchini and squash, all of the varieties we have came from Baker Creek. So they're one of them is a zucchini black beauty summer squash, and the other one is just a regular. I can't remember the name of it, but pretty much everything we've grown is from Baker Creek. Yeah,
everything. Either that or in my gardener, which was a few. It's mainly just Baker's Creek. But these sunflowers are really kicking.
Velvet Queens.
Velvet Queens. But the most exciting thing in this tilled garden is this bad boy right here. The first pumpkin, y'all. Oh, leaf getting away. Check him out. So that is a Jack B. Little, and he's not the only one that's hanging out up in this party. Where's that other? Oh, there's one right there. And there's one right there. Oh, there's another one. We're about to have Jack B. Littles everywhere up in this place. All right, then an update on our Crazy Days is Deep South Homestead Cherokee Tam Pumpkins collab. We had 2 out of 6 that germinated, and they are doing awesome. They're about just as big as our Jack B. Littles. We don't have any fruit just yet, but these beautiful variegated plants are just vining on out and looking awesome and doing their thing. Cannot wait for October to come and us have all these harvested and beautiful things. We also have another Jack B. Little here and a Jack B. Little here that is also a little bit smaller.
Pepper bed is absolutely rocking. I can't say enough good things about our peppers. We're getting peppers out the ears. I love it. This is the first time that we have had a complete whole bed successful full of peppers. We've got jalapenos, we've got bells, we've got black beauty peppers, we've got some Jimmy Nardellos,
Tabascos,
and literally every single one of them is producing, and we're picking every single day. They're just doing great, and look at them,
and
zero issues.
Our normal shot that we always do, it's really starting to look like a jungle up in there.
They're just so happy. They have no complaints.
Most everything we have just harvested literally like this morning. Because we had to. I wish we could have held off to the garden tour, but we honestly didn't know if our health was gonna allow us to do this garden tour today. So don't see a whole lot of vegetables on there, but there is quite a bit of fruit that's still there that we're just waiting to get more mature, but these bad boys are rocking.
All right, this is our hodgepodge bed.
That's taking over.
It's taking over everything. We've got okra here, and there, and that plant is actually producing its first okra.
Peekaboo.
How exciting is that? We've actually never grown okra, so this is a first for us.
Yep, and we know they get very large. That's why we put them in. If y'all remember, we used to have onions all here. So they have all that room now to take over and just grow tall and big.
Yeah.
But Mr. Loofah
gourds, I literally cannot contain them. Y'all want to talk about other things taking over? Loofah gourds have taken over.
Yep, that is 2 plants, folks. 2 plants that started right there and have just taken over. Let's get you in here real quick.
They have flowers everywhere.
Yeah, oh, the amount of loofahs that you're gonna have is gonna be insane. But I'm just redirecting Jen and I back and forth so we can try to take up as much room as possible before they find the cucumbers.
We've got a pepper here that's got a baby on it. It's growing well. Probably harvest that in a couple days.
That's a chocolate bell.
And then all of these are bush beans. They're the Galapgo. They're great for freezing, so I think that's actually what we're gonna do with them. They're getting big and they're starting to bush out, so they'll be producing beans any day now. They just need to get a little bit taller, I think. And then over there,
last week, we showed them the first noodle bean that popped up on these plants. The very first one. And now we've already harvested probably 20, and they are everywhere.
If you want a prolific bean plant, this is your plant. Oh, look at that guy. You need to go on. Stink bug. Oh.
There you go. Just wipe it everywhere. Look, we got them on the ground here.
They're huge. They have got to be harvested.
And they are
I've
so
already
cool.
harvested a handful, but I mean, look at these things. They're so prolific. It's incredible.
And this is just starting at the bottom. I mean, we keep going up. And so next week, I'm very confident it's going to be absolutely everywhere.
I actually have not cooked with them yet, but I'm going to.
We finally have enough.
Yeah, well, we're getting enough. I think with these, if we take these in, it'll be enough. And I'm going to show y'all a meal and show you what we do with them, and hopefully you love it. But I love these guys. I'm going to grow them every year. They're great.
I mess with Wyatt and Raylan, and I like act like it was like my teeth and my fingernails and stuff. They really thought that was funny.
I mean, I love them. And they're so pretty in the garden.
Such a good choice for our cattle panels. Yeah. These and the loofahs.
Definitely do not regret these Chinese red noodle beans.
Yeah, them or the loofahs. They just take over and they make it look so pretty. Okay, off of that side, onto this side. So over here we got the Bonnie's Best, which I'm telling y'all, we are putting it back in the list because these are some awesome looking tomatoes.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna do it again. I know we talked crap about them, but we are definitely gonna do Bonnie's Best again.
Look at the amount of tomatoes on such a...
And the size.
And the size, look at this thing. That is...
The shape. I mean, not a single one of them is deformed.
They
are perfectly shaped.
They're absolutely perfect tomatoes. They're all turning. They're known for a slicer and for canning because they're so big and they're so perfect. And so these, we're just gonna do better next year because I'm gonna blame it on us. I ain't gonna blame it on the plant.
Fault. It wasn't the plant's fault, it was
our
fault.
We got excited, they got big as transplants, and we put them in the ground too early. Our fault, right? So these are awesome. I love them. You love them?
I love them.
Yeah, so we are getting some massive tomatoes off this bad boy.
I was thinking about my cucumbers over there. I don't even want to talk about cucumbers, y'all. I see enough cucumbers to last me for the next 5 years.
She probably has.
I have canned enough pickles for my entire lifetime, and I love it.
And And the
I'm
funny
a little
thing
tired
is,
of cucumbers.
the funny thing is, you probably have another 100 pounds.
Yeah.
Not 100. That's exaggerated. But you probably have another 20 to 30 pounds in the fridge right now curing.
I don't want to talk about cucumbers. They're just
We peaking. We just gonna keep going.
cucumbers and me got a sore spot right now. All right, y'all. Along with cucumbers, me and this tea garden got a little sore spot right now. I'm harvesting every day, and I cannot keep up with the amount of marigolds, dandelions, and chamomile that is producing. I love it. Don't get me wrong, but I'm tired. I'm tired.
But she's got this. Y'all,
every single one of these plants just continues. And I'm like, one day they're just gonna stop. They're gonna stop producing, and then it never happens, and it just keeps going. And the scissors are getting tired.
No, but she's doing great. She's got a salve video that is almost complete and ready for you all. She's about to have a couple tea videos that are ready for you all. So sorry it's taking so long. It's just a process to do some of this stuff, to dry them, to let them soak, do the different things that she's got to do. She's killing it. She's doing great. For the most part, nothing's taken over anything.
No, I'm gonna have enough tea harvested and preserved to save me for the year. I won't have to buy no tea.
The only thing that's not getting on her nerves is this lavender. It grows about an inch and a half every single week that we do this, but she getting there.
If you are thinking about doing a tea garden, do it. Go back to my earlier videos and you can see what exactly I planted in here. And I recommend that you plant every single thing, because if you're an avid tea drinker, you will have enough to store and use for probably the next 2 years, I can promise you. So
yeah, I'd agree with that.
It's a good thing. The tea gardener kit came from MI Gardener. They were sold out for a while, but you can piece it together.
Yeah.
And it's the most prolific thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, Jen laid out each specific plan that she got, so you don't have to get the actual package. You can just go to Baker's Creek or whoever and buy them individually.
Yeah.
We'll link.
Go way back in the videos.
We'll link that tea video down in the description, just if you're curious. Rebel tomato bed time. They're doing good. They're getting big. You can check them out here.
They've grown like crazy. I really didn't know if they would, but they are.
That's why they're rebels.
They're strong.
They wouldn't die, so we planted them. So they're here. They're doing great. They're hanging out with the bush beans that we have. We're picking green beans off of it. Look at here.
Oh, look at those.
We just picked that thing yesterday. Goodness gracious. So everything's doing great here. All the tomatoes are doing well. Like I said, our challenge is to have the last tomato out of the homesteading group. We're in Kentucky. We'll see. 6B. Come on, y'all. Let's see if you can pull that last ripe tomato off this year. So we got our second round of maters in there. So when we talked about being at our peak, we're at our peak. And if we don't do something, we're gonna lose this bed. Everything is 100% healthy. We are literally harvesting so many tomatoes off this variety bed. However, we're getting big and we're getting past our tobacco stakes. Told you last week, we already knew that, had a plan, had Wyatt's birthday, got sick, and now we're starting to bend over and fall over. That's a problem. So, we're feeling better. We're gonna take care of these now. But we literally have tomatoes all over the place. This is white cherries, Aunt Ruby's German greens, which this is one of them. Yeah. That's an Aunt Ruby's German green. If you haven't grown those, they're awesome. And it's such a good green tomato. I was actually just telling my mom, you know, usually most farmers or backyard gardeners, they'll just grab an unripe tomato, whatever it may be, slice it, fry it, and call it a fried green tomato. This is made for that. And they're so big and they're ripe, so they're soft. Yeah. But they're green and they're fantastic.
We actually made some yesterday and they were really, really good.
Yeah.
We couldn't taste them very much because we were sick.
But they were good.
But if we could have, it would have been the best fried green tomato I ever had.
That's right.
Actually, you'll see the garden tour before you see our canning video, but we harvested 10 pounds of tomatoes and we canned some tomato sauce. So the video about that will be coming out after the garden tour and you will see that. Even though this is our variety bed, we are using all these just like they were a regular tomato.
Absolutely.
Yes, we do appreciate their variety. We do eat tomato sandwiches and pick them off the vine and eat them and appreciate their different flavor, but at the end of the day, we treat them just like they're regular tomatoes and they go in the cans for spaghetti sauce, tomato sauce, chili, all kinds of stuff.
Yep,
So.
that's like when we have the black brandy wines, or we have the pink ox hearts, and the different colors that pop into your chili sauce and spaghetti sauce. It's awesome. It's a cool thing to talk about.
Definitely will grow the brandy wines again.
Yes.
Definitely grow the white cherry tomatoes again.
Yes.
The ox hearts are doing well. We might do that again.
Yep, the Romas we didn't have any issues with. I know a lot of people did. That's these over here. I was pointing out a pink ox heart. But these ox hearts are really, they started slow, but we're getting fruit everywhere now. They're really starting to do their thing. They were just kind of a late kicker. We had basically one that was ready, but now they're really kicking in gear.
These are our Jimmy Nardellos. We're just waiting on them to turn, but they're doing really well.
Yeah, they're starting to get there.
We might go ahead and pick them just because we might
we're
have
not.
some more rain
We're gonna
coming.
wait.
No,
We're gonna wait.
Yeah, they're gonna be awesome when we do.
Yep. See this, y'all? I got to get on it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Y'all know me, I'm a bad helicopter parent when it comes to this garden. So is Jen. She gets on me sometimes about it. But it's driving me crazy. Being down and not being able to get on this as much as I would like. This is usually the most perfect looking bed that there is, but we'll get there.
And
We're
the
still
comfrey.
okay.
I don't even want to talk about the comfrey either. We ain't gonna talk about it.
It's popping, it's doing its thing.
Look at that hole. Look at this hole, y'all. My rabbit's
The
dug.
rabbit dug a hole. They're over there now, getting them some fresh grass. So the most random bed, and it'll also be the first for our fall garden. We're just letting these onions do their thing, honestly. Just seeing, kind of experimenting. But these tenderette bush beans are taking off. They're almost as big as the ones that got in March. So they're about ready to start getting some fruit on them as well.
If you're looking for good bush beans, go with the tenderette bush beans. They are fast growers, very fast growers, and they will produce a lot.
Which that's why we put these in. This was our second round of summer crop. Jen knew they would be fast, so that's why we put them in. And then our heat hardy carrots. What is the name, babe?
Carrot red Puda, I don't know.
There you go. Puda what?
Rudisa red.
They're from Baker's Creek. It's a red carrot.
Carrot Puda red Rudisa.
There you go.
There you go.
They're doing great. They're growing like wildfire. And with this rain,
they're growing quick.
They are. So super pumped about them. We kind of thinned them out to give them a little space so we don't have the big slender carrots. So they're doing really awesome.
All right, these are our second round of cucumbers. These are the mini white cukes, which are going to be really good for pickling. So at the end of the season, when I don't even want to look at a cucumber, these guys are going to be producing, and we're going to be making more pickles.
But they're going to be awesome, and they're going to be white. So there's one. It is now officially attached to the chicken wire on the pallet trellis.
This one has attached really well.
Yep, here's number 2 and number 3.
Yep, and they're good. They're healthy.
Very
no
healthy.
issues. They're doing good.
So they get 3 foot tall, so they'll get to about the top of the pallet and start pumping out mini white cucumbers.
Which will be really neat to see.
It will be. Over here are our other 6 cucumber plants that we have. They're starting to go under a little bit of attack.
I know they look rough, but they're still producing.
They're producing like nuts.
Yeah.
And it's just some of the lower leaves. And we've actually sprung off and got some new healthy plants that are coming in here that are now taking off. So
They're
like that's
kind of bushing out.
yeah, so that's like a whole new start. However, we've officially made it to the top of the pallet trellis, folks. And we are starting to climb over. So I love the pallet trellises. Y'all know that we came up with that idea.
Yep. We have older videos of it if you want to know how to do it.
Yep.
But they're awesome for cucumbers. They're really cool.
Completely agree. Would not change a thing. Just make sure you have some chicken wire on it so you can get up the pallet trellis. Get your planter boxes, and they're good to go. They're just still rocking, doing their thing. So there's those 2.
And here's the other.
Here's the other 3.
Here. I know they look rough, but y'all, they're still producing. So.
Yep. And it's just kind of lower. We're kind of monitoring to see if it's going to continue to affect the top, but it hasn't so far, and that's been multiple weeks.
They're fixing themselves.
Yes, they are.
Even though they look rough, they're starting to branch out and fix themselves, so they're happy.
Sometimes when you're a parent and you see your kid and you see a struggle happening, the first thing you want to do is just jump right in and fix it. Well, other times you kind of got to let them work it out themselves, and that's what our cucumber plants are doing. So it hasn't been overly hot just yet to where it's really taking them down, but they are doing fantastic.
I forget every single time to show my hydrangeas, but here they are. They're doing well. They've bushed out a little bit more. It started with one plant, and they're doing good. They're starting to expand, and they're going to take over this area really nicely. It's not the best spot, but they're okay, so I'm not going to move them. Hopefully y'all can't see the sweat coming off my face.
Yeah, but it still feels pretty good out here. Overall,
just
it's pretty
humid.
nice. And we hope you all enjoyed this garden tour. We're finally happy to be able to deliver it to you all. It feels like it's been forever since we've done one.
We're gonna do an animal update soon too. So wait for that. We want to throw the animals on here, but it would make it way too long.
Yeah,
so
it's already long enough,
come soon.
and we appreciate y'all hanging out with us the whole time. There's just so much to show, and we want to talk about it. And we want to make sure that you all have all the info that you need for your own garden.
All right. We love y'all. We will see you on the next one. We got it. The battery's dying, so we gotta wrap it up. I don't want to miss the wrap up.
Right. All right. We love you all. We hope that we showed you some things that maybe your garden's struggling with or not struggling with, and know that yours is okay as well. Let them grow. Let them be.
Keep up with the neem oil. Keep up with the fish oil, and you will not regret it. Your gardens will thrive. Hand pick them bugs if you have to. Get out there with black lights. Get them off. Don't let them take over. You can win, and you will win.
That's right.
It's a battle, but you're gonna win the war.
We're at the peak, and we still have a whole half summer to harvest.
That's right.
This isn't it yet.
Here's us telling you that you can do it. If we can, you can.
That's right. We're making it to frost, y'all.
And
We're all gonna
not
bring it
master
together.
gardeners whatsoever.
Not at all.
So if we can do it, you can do it. Keep trying, keep going, keep pushing. You can do it.
Amen to that.
We love y'all.
Until the next one. Bye.